Welcome back to another episode of Insights with Bunny Mac. My name is Vince, aka Bunny Mac. Thank you very much for joining me for another episode, another insight. I've been having a few conversations with folks around, and I've been seeing like one common thread really flowing in all of these conversations. And the one common thing that keeps popping up in just about every conversation that I've been having around about this time of the year, people are burned out. They are tired. They are battling with fatigue. And I read an article about fatigue itself, and psychologist Dr. What was it? Sanir Jamati. I hope I'm not butchering that if you are watching. He actually said in the article that fatigue is just this state of I don't know, this feeling of tiredness and sheer exhaustion that overtakes the body, the mind, the body, and the soul. And that is very much true because just based on the conversations that I've been having with people, you can see that coming through in all of these conversations. So I thought, okay, let's get on here, let's get an insight, sharing people with how can you turn or end your year off really strongly and start your year off on such a powerful note. Well, I don't have a cure for fatigue. I'm having battled with mental health issues for the greatest part of my life. I know what it feels like to go through fatigue. I know what it's like to have anxiety, to have depression. I also know what it is to hide it very well so that not even your family can pick it up. So I can maybe give it tips on that, but it's not a good thing either. So let's focus rather not on the cure, but rather on preventative measures. Prevention is always better than cure. So I've got 5 tips for you today in terms of how you can bypass fatigue in your life. And before we're actually going to dive into that, if you haven't by yet, by all means do subscribe to the channel, like the content, drop me your feedback. I would love to hear from you. See, on this channel I provide you with insights from a gardening perspective as well as from a coaching perspective. Bring the two together to give you the best of both worlds. So you are equipped to take life from where you are to where you are capable of being. Now, like I said, fatigue, everyone is battling with fatigue because people are rushing to get things done at this time of the year. They're rushing to get their work done, especially the work environment, trying to get work done, but they're focusing so much energy on things that are so trivial in the day-to-day setup. But it's just the state or this belief that they are busy that is keeping them going and pushing and trying to get work done. And they end up burning out, they end up feeling stressed out, anxious, like I said. And the sad part is a lot of that overflows back into the home environment. So it's like people are taking out the frustrations on family members, on friends, on relationships, on spouses, and even on the children. Sadly, this is what's happening. I experienced it in my personal life as well, and sometimes we can't step away from the fallout of the fatigue that encompasses us. And we really need to take stock of that and really need to step back. Like I said, I'm not going to be giving you a cure for fatigue, but if you are battling to get a handle on the fatigue, try doing a few things. What does God's word say to you? He says to you very clearly, come to me all who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. God is basically saying, give your burdens over to Him and allow Him to carry you through the storms. I know most of us don't want to do that because we like taking control of our situations and we like handling our business. I get that. So I'm not going to dive too deep on that particular aspect. I'm going to be focusing more on the coaching part of it today. And we can deal with it from that point moving forward. Now, there is a scripture that says if you're really, really battling with fatigue and you really need to come to a place of rest, just remember God does say, be still and know that I am God. So just have faith, just trust that in the most difficult of difficult storms, God is still in control, He's still in the boat with you. But like I said, we're focusing on more of the preventative measures today. And I'm going to be giving you 5 tips. So let's not really waste time because if you use these tips, if you apply these tips, they sound very simplistic, they sound very cheesy, if I might say it that way. But I'm telling you, they have the power to make a phenomenal impact in your life. But the ownership is on you to use and apply these tips. Okay. First thing that I want to share with you is, go on a cleanse. Very, very important. Go on a cleanse. At this time of the year, our minds get so saturated, our bodies get so saturated that we are just physically drained completely and we don't see it until it is too late. So go on a cleanse, cut off this need that you need to watch the news. Cut off your need for sugar. Sugar is really bad for you. I'm telling you right now. I've been limiting the amount of sugar that I take into my body. Cut off your caffeine as well. Give your body a chance to rest, to recuperate. And one of the biggest things that you need to cut off in your life, and this is one of the things that I've been focusing on cutting off in my life, is social media. Stop spending 24/7 on social media. You wake up in the morning, you wake up with the phone in your hand. You go to bed at night, the phone is the last thing in your hand. Move away from that mentality. Your body needs to rest. These are things that just activating your brain, and you're not getting the rest that you actually require. They are stimulating your brain to such a level that you cannot get yourself into a state of rest. Move into hobbies that aren't so stimulating as those. Move into spaces where you can meditate, where you can find yourself praying, where you can find yourself journaling, where you can just scrapbooking. Try these different hobbies. They slow down the pace to such a level that your body gets time to heal mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And true healing comes from inside, because when the healing comes from within, it reflects to the outer world. You find balance in your outer world. So, step number one, or the first step that I'm going to give to you, is go on a cleanse. Extremely important. If you have a coach in your life, and then you would have heard the second tip already by now, because the second tip that I'm going to give you is check your playbook. Okay, that is more of a coaching term. What we refer to that is we teach our clients, to audit yourself. Keep track of your daily movements. What is working for you? What is not working for you? What is affecting you? What is not affecting you? How is it affecting you? Why is it affecting you? Who are the people in your life that are giving you value? Who are the people in your life that are taking away from your value? All of these things are contributing factors that adds to your agitation, adds to your burnout, adds to your stress. So become aware of your environment in that sense. Become aware of the factors that are impacting your environment. And the best way to do that is to have a playbook and to check consistently. And then you can start cutting out the things that are really adding or compounding in your life, that are just adding stress and frustration in your life, and you can start systematically removing them. I know it's hard to remove family members that are really frustrating you at times, but you can start shifting mentally out of that as well. Which brings us to step number 3, reset your environment. Like I said, sometimes you can't move away from your family members, but you can restructure the environment that you find yourself in. Okay? Restructuring your environment and resetting your environment is very, very important, because it helps you get into a mindset where you can actually, especially in terms of your hobbies, you can get into a mindset where you set your mind and you're focused on being productive. I love how James Clear said it in Atomic Habits. He says, one function, one space, or one space, one function. And he was speaking specifically about habits. So if I can relate that to this particular topic, if you want to get into the habit of yoga, if you want to get into the habit of meditation, even if you're living in a confined space, cordon your space off in such a way that you know and you understand that this small little square centimeter matchbox space here in this part of my apartment is for meditation, or this matchbox space here in my apartment is for reading. It is for journaling, whatever it is. Let's say, for example, most of my friends in the online sphere are into marketing, and majority of them do their marketing from their laptops. I know there are some that do the marketing that are forced to do their marketing from their cell phones. So what you need to do is, in terms of resetting the environment, is you need to have that clarity to say, okay, when I'm working on my phone, it is for social. I'm chatting and I'm connecting with friends, and I'm limiting it to 2 hours to 3 hours max per day. No, not per session, per day. When I'm working on my laptop, it is business. I am doing strictly business. That is resetting the environment in terms of the online sphere. For those of you that have to work strictly from your cell phone, like as in my case, I'm doing most of my marketing and promotions from my cell phone. I have to reset my environment in such a way that I understand. 1 hour is dedicated to socializing, chatting and connecting with people. The next 3 to 4, 5 hours, thereafter, it's so focused on what I'm doing in terms of my marketing. I'm shooting my YouTube videos, I'm editing my videos, I'm getting my productions in line, I'm doing my connections with people in terms of my coaching. So that is resetting my environment, and that is very important that you reset your environment and have boundaries in place so that you know and understand one space, one function. Alright? So reset your environment. That is your second tip. Or third tip. The third one that I want to speak to you about is remind yourself of who you are. How often do we forget who we are because we are so focused on the highlight reels of what other people are living, what other people are doing in their lives, that we forget to celebrate who we are at our core, what we are doing. Do you know that just waking up this morning was a victory? Do you know that the fact that you get to watch this video is a victory? Celebrate these things, celebrate who you are, because like I said, we get lost in our identity, we get lost in who we are and what we are capable of being. And that impacts us so negatively We just, by losing our identity and chasing after finding our identity, we become stressed because we cannot catch the identities of other people. It doesn't fit the mold of who we are. And that is why it's important that you take time out to focus on you, focus on who you are, focus on your wins, celebrate your wins. That helps you build yourself up to such a level that when the stresses does hit you, you are able to combat that so much better, so much more effectively. So remember who you are. And then the last step that I want to share with you, and very important as well, schedule time off. We live in this busy period, busy place where everyone has to be here and has to do this and has to do that. You don't have to do anything. That is very, very important. Please, if you're going to change one thing in your life, if you're going to take one thing away from this video, from this particular insight, remember this: you do not have to do anything. Change that wording over your life. Speak a different wording. I want to do this because it will add value in that aspect. Okay, so if you can just take that away from this insight, then already you've taken phenomenally away. But schedule time off for yourself. Take a day off from work, take a day off from your social media, from your marketing, take a day off from your trading. If you're an online trader, take a day off from your 9-to-5 job and just go for a walk. If you don't have nature around or available, go for a walk through your shopping center. And don't be say, well, I can't afford the stuff in the shop, I can't afford the things that I see. Start seeing yourself as being that person that can have that does that, not can have that does have that already in their life. Start enjoying it. I go to the shops and I go fit on clothes. Doesn't mean I'm going to buy the clothes. Doesn't mean I have cash in my pockets. I fit on clothes and I take selfies and I'm like, man, I look good, damn. So lose yourself. Take a day off. Just enjoy yourself. Revel in yourself. If you can't take a day off from work, then just at least get an hour up early every morning. If you can, every morning, or once every 2-3 mornings a week. That would also help. And just take time out to sit, to think, relax, focus. Make it me time. If you prefer it in the evening, then shut it down, shut everything down around you and just have that quiet time where you can have time to breathe, relax, and just be you. These are such simple tips that anybody can do them. You have to admit they're very easy. So give them a go, give them a try, let's say for the next 14 days, and see how they work for you. And then drop me your feedback. Right? I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your take with regards to these tips that I've shared today. Remember, if you haven't yet, please by all means do subscribe to the channel. I would love to get to hear your feedback, your comments as well. So again, thank you very much for joining me for this particular insight, for this episode. I hope to see you on the next one. For now, this is Bunny Mac saying change your thinking, change your world.